What up, B Squad? It is your boy JB, and we are here today with another review for Belle Collective, Season 3, Episode number 7, I believe, and the episode titled Let There Be Peace. So you guys know we were actually off last Friday, and I didn't know it until I went over to OWN to go get ready to watch a new episode of Belle Collective, and lo and behold, I see a repeat. I was like, wait a minute, that be what's going on here? But yeah, you guys, this is Belle Collective. So we're back. And let's go ahead and get into it, shall we? So you guys remember that the last episode of Belle Collective, it ended with us with So Gucci and Sanji talking, right? And I like what Sanji was saying to So Gucci with the situation with Selena. So here's my thing, and you guys know I've stated this, and I continue to state this. When it comes down to Selena and So Gucci, Selena and So Gucci both play a role in the fight, right? I said it then, and I'm gonna say it again. Selena, she didn't have to address So Gucci, right? And So Gucci, it was rude of you to walk up to where Selena and Tambra were and have that conversation with Tambra and completely ignore So Gucci. I mean, not So Gucci, but Selena. You could have just simply said, "Hi, Selena," and left it at that. Or, "Hey, how you doing?" Anything. You didn't have to just snub her. But like I said with Selena, if So Gucci came up to you in Tambra and she ignored you, you could have been like, "Oh, okay, so I see what time this girl is on. I got you. I got your motherfucking penny, nickel, and dime, right?" So there's equal fault on both sides. And then So Gucci is trying to say that, well, that doesn't give her the right to put her hands on me. That is correct, right? But you bucked up at that woman. So if you bucking up at me, I'm gonna assume you ready to get down with it. Like K Michelle said, don't shake unless you're ready to get shook. Remember that? Like, don't do that. Don't shake unless you're ready to get shook. So, and then so Gucci says, well, I do have a smart ass mouth. So that leads me to believe that you have said and done things to Selena over the years. So, like I've said plenty of times before, like I said about Mel this past week with Dolphin Mouth, you can only poke and poke and poke and say and do things to people for oh so long before they say, you know what, enough is enough. I'm tired of this shit, and I'm gonna have to check this bit, right? So I feel like that's what happened with Selena and So Gucci. Now Marie, I want to hear from Marie because Marie is trying to play referee for So Gucci. And she's like, well, Selena has been on a show before, and she's dealt with the shade. So I thought that maybe I was just thinking that it was just a little shady session. What was shady about that situation? You and Marie, you were not there. So how are you going to sit here and say what happened? You were not there. So it's best to keep your thoughts and your opinions to yourself. You didn't see this situation. And if Sanji is saying you walked up to my mama and you didn't speak to her, where was the shade? That's not shady. That is dismissive. You didn't have to walk up. You didn't have to even, when you saw Tambra, you could have waved from across the room to Tambra. Or you could have waited until Tambra was by herself and said, you know what? Hey, girl, I saw you, but you was with somebody that I don't really rock with, and I don't want to come over there and speak to you and rock the boat with her. So I'm sorry, girl. And there are so many different things that Selena and So Gucci both could have done. So it is what it is. But I want you guys to tell me what you think about that down in the comment section below. So and let's pause here and move forward, you guys. All right, you guys. So next up we see Tambra Cherie, and she is at the radio station. And I just don't know how anybody can listen to Tambra in her hair. I'm sorry. I want to go to Jackson just so I can listen to the Midday Diva because Jesus, that voice is so annoying. I would call in and be like, hey, Tambra, so I don't watch you on Belle Collective. And your voice on, when you get mad, your voice get real deep. Can you talk like that on the radio? Because this high-pitched Minnie Mouse voice, it's annoying as fuck. I'm sorry. That Minnie Mouse voice has just got to go. So, she went and talked to her manager, Quasi, whatever the hell his name is. So, he still wants her to, do this podcast, right? And, a lot of people do have podcasts these days, right? And a lot of radio personality people do have podcasts. There's a radio person that, well, she's a former radio personality, Lady Jade, from formerly from K104. Even before she left K104, she had a podcast, and she did the radio. So, I think, I think that would work, right? Because here's the thing. For me personally, when it comes to the radio, I haven't listened to the radio in God knows how long, right? I don't listen to podcasts either. And it's so funny. I don't know why I don't listen to podcasts, because podcasts literally are just old, basically radio stations, right? Because for years before social media, you really didn't know what your local DJs and your local MCs and DJs didn't look like on the radio unless you met them in person. Like there was one that worked at the radio station in my hometown, and she was the midday. She was like Tambra. She didn't call herself the midday diva, but she did her show in the midday, right? And I would hear, this is when I was in college. So I would hear her sometimes, and then sometimes I would hear her because, she would do her commercials for, her commercial for her show. And then sometimes I would be in a car during lunch, and I would just go, ride around. Actually, take that lie back. I would hear her doing lunch because I made sure after my first year of college, I made sure to never have a class after noon. Noon was the last time, I would go to class. If I would take a class, it would have to be out by, I would do 11 to 11:50, and I wouldn't do anything after that. 11:50 would be the end of my day. And then if I did go back, it would be later in the afternoon, like maybe after 3 o'clock. But I wouldn't do anything between 12 and 1. Actually, 12 and 2. 12 and 2. Those would be the hours where I would say, hey, you gonna be done. You gonna be done. So yeah, I met one of the DJs from my hometown, and the only reason why I knew who she was because of her voice. Because this is actually around the time that social media. The only thing we had at this time was just Facebook, because Twitter didn't exist. Well, Twitter had just came about. And so did, and Instagram didn't exist. Twitter had just came about. Only thing that we had was Facebook, and so we followed each other on Facebook, and that was just a long ass way of me saying I don't know what I was talking. I don't know. I ramble way too much sometimes, but y'all deal with it. So, Tambra is telling her manager the comment that Damon made to her, that she just sits in a chair all day, and I'm like, well, that's kind of rude, because she doesn't. I mean, when it comes to those jobs, an engineer and all that kind of stuff, they do a lot more than just sit in a chair, but it is what it is, right? And then Tambra's talking about, potentially having kids. Do I believe that Tambra wants kids? Not really. I don't know that I believe that Tambra wants kids. I always felt like that was just a storyline with Tambra. But let me know what you guys think about that down in the comments below, you guys. And let's pause here and move forward. All right, you guys. So next up, we move over to Marie. So we see Marie as she is going to go to therapy. And I'm like, that's good for Marie. I think a lot of people in the Black community will, definitely, benefit from going to therapy. And I like that about Marie. And what I will say with Marie is I like seeing this side of Marie as opposed to the messy side of Marie, because the messy side of Marie, I just don't be here for it all the time. More specifically, when she be coming for Latrice, and in this episode, Tambra and her hair, right? So the therapist is like, when it comes to her clients, she just likes to get to know a little bit about them. So she has Marie tell her about herself, right? So she tells her name is Marie Hamilton. I forget what her full name is, right? But she goes by Maria Monroe. I think she was born here in Jackson, if I'm not mistaken. She also told her about her issues with her mom. And, it's very interesting when you hear people talk about how, and I always wonder this, it has to be I always wonder, like, it has to be a psyche issue with people who, it's a psyche issue, and I also think it's probably also an addiction issue, because I've definitely been someone who's partaken in, the MJ, right? And I've never tried any of anything else, because getting that high is all I need, right? I don't go out and chase any other highs. Now I have had some thoughts about certain things, but I've never tried them. And it's not things like I don't think about the booger sugar. I don't think about none of that stuff. It's really I've thought about the tablet form of some drugs, but I've never done them. I've just done edibles and smoked a few blunts, right? So that's all I can say. But I always do wonder, because she said her mom started out smoking, weed, but then she started lacing, and it sounds like what Whitney Houston used to do, right? Because Whitney Houston used to lace hers with the white girl, and I was like, why would y'all want to? Why would y'all want to do that? Why would y'all want to do that? But like I said, Marie was telling her story, and like I said, I like the softer side of Marie as opposed to the Marie Monroe that is always in everybody's business and just needs to know what's going on. This I prefer, and I'm not gonna sit here and say I don't like the mess, because we live for the mess, right? But the mess has to make sense to me, and I think that is what really is my problem, is that the mess doesn't make sense. And I like that the therapist told Marie, when it comes down to her, she's going to have to close the bank of Marie to the people in her life. And I was like, exactly. But we've been saying it up to Marie, especially, I know she wants to be there for her son and and her grandkids, but Dreyez, which we ain't touched on Dreyez this season. So I wonder how things are with Dreyez. I hope he is doing for his kids and not Marie. But I like that she told Marie she has to close the bank of Marie. And it's okay to be selfish. And yeah, they may get mad at you, but if you put your foot down and say, enough's enough, I've done all I can for you, you gotta take some initiative and responsibility for your own life, then if you don't do that, they'll continue to mooch off of you. Period, point blank. I want you guys to tell me what you think about that. But yeah, like I said, I definitely enjoyed that scene with Marie. It was nice to see this side of Marie. So then we see So Gucci and Letitia, they met up with each other, right? So they talked about Latrice's hair event and how things went left. And once again, the issue that I'm having is there's a lack of accountability on So Gucci's part. Like, there is a complete lack of accountability. Yes, like I said, I've said it, and I guess I'm gonna have to say it until I'm blue in the face. Yes, Selena could have easily just let So Gucci keep walking, and we wouldn't have had this situation. But the thing is, you came in her orbit and you ignored her. You didn't speak to her. So as much as we can say, yeah, Selena shouldn't have done this, Selena shouldn't have done that, So Gucci should have done some stuff as well. So Gucci says that, now here's my issue with So Gucci. Because So Gucci is going off of what she hears people are saying. That, I think she said, look, she heard that Latrice said maybe she got some act right or something. If you didn't hear that come out of Latrice's mouth, why are you listening to what other people are saying? Like, that gets on my nerves. I hate that. If there is one thing to know about me, do not ever come to me and say, well, such and so told me that you said this about me, and so and so said that you said this about me, and so and so and so and so. Don't tell me what you've heard other people have told you. Don't do that. Don't tell me what you've heard. Tell me what you know. Tell me, I heard. If I said it, here's the thing about me, and my friends can attest to this. If I say something, I can back it up. If you say, oh, well, I heard you said this. Yeah, I said it, but that's not how I operate. That's just not how I operate. The way that I operate is, anything that I say about you, I'm going to say it to you. I probably have already said it to you, and I just, somebody brings it up, I'm like, yeah, we talked about that, and I said da 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 about that, and this is how I feel about the situation. I don't bite my tongue. I don't hold back how I feel. I tell my friends what I'm thinking and feeling at the time. But also, I don't really have a thing of talking about my friends or people that I consider friends behind their back, right? That's just not me. I'm a very quiet person, so if people are talking about people, I'll sit there and be like this, and just look out like I'm literally looking out my window right now, and I'll just look into the abyss and be like, oh, what'd you say? I don't want listening, because I don't do that. Or if you're talking negatively about somebody that I'm cool with, I'll be like, you know what? I'm not gonna sit here and listen to that, so I'm gonna dip out, right? But yeah, that is the one thing that I hate. I don't like hearing, oh, well, so and so said that you said this about me. No, don't come to me with that. Don't come to me with that kind of stuff, and don't be mad at me behind that. Because here's the thing: how do you know so and so might not have an issue with me, and they just made something up? People do that all the time. People will make shit up because I have an issue. Oh, I had an issue with her, and then y'all friends. So let me come in between that friendship. The fuck? Like, that shit got on my nerves. It was so good. You're talking about she heard that Latrice said that maybe she got some act right. But the woman texts you. Okay. Now here's the other thing that I have a question about. The fact that So Gucci feels like Latrice set this up. How in the hell did Latrice set this up if you and Selena were at Star's baby shower and y'all were getting along? Y'all were getting along at the baby shower. How we go from being cordial at the baby shower to acting a plum fucking fool at Latrice's wig event? Like, how we go from there? Please explain that. That's the question that I really have. I feel like Latrice thought that y'all were mature and grown enough to be, and if y'all were mature and grown enough to be at a damn baby shower, then I would expect y'all to be mature and grown enough to be at my business event, my wig launch. So I don't like the fact that So Gucci is trying to sit here and say that she feels that she set it up. So also, So Gucci is helping what's her name? Letitia with her PCOS. So she's a little bloated, so she's helping her with some stuff that'll, control that, right? So that's that. So let's pause here and move forward, you guys. All right, you guys. So next up, we see Marie. So Marie went to go see Ikea. Ikea is sexually frustrated because Willie ain't there, right? And so she also told, Marie what's going on with this situation with Ferris Street. You guys, like I said, I'm so tired. I'm so tired of hearing about Ferris Street. If it don't happen, let's just say that we can't touch it. So she also told, so Marie is telling Ikea that she's going to be sitting down with this guy who reached out to this. Here's the thing. This man sought you guys out. You're not going to sit here and be like, okay, why is this man seeking us out to talk about Timber and her hair? I would be like, this man is looking for something. This man wants some kind of attention and wants some kind of clout. And I hate when people say that you're looking for clout, but this man is obviously looking for some kind of attention. The fact that he has reached out to you ladies to talk about Timber, that doesn't scream this man wants some attention. So Marie is saying that this man is telling them that, he was engaged. He was engaged to Timber and her hair, right? And I guess when Belle Collective came about, she wanted to be on Belle. She wanted to be on this show, but because of, I guess, the industry that he works in. Now, let me ask the question: what industry do you work in? That is only industry that I can think of that you could work in where they would have an issue with that is if you're in politics. You're in politics, or you are in law enforcement. But even with that, we didn't find out that Jamie from Love and Marriage DC was a cop until after he retired. But those are the only things I can think of is if you're in politics or if you're in law enforcement. Because other than that, what industry could you be in where they wouldn't want you on this television show, right? And I mean, if you're in law enforcement, they just wouldn't want you to be in your suit. I don't know. You guys let me know what you think about that down in the comments. But yeah, I just take it that this man is looking for attention because if he couldn't be on the show because of the industry he was in, then why is he reaching out to you ladies on the show about another cast member, and he's going to meet up with Letitia and Marie to talk about timbre and her hair? Please make that make sense, right? So then Marie says that he declined to be on the show, but then he looked up last season and she's on the show with Damon, who he says she was cheating on him with. I don't care. And I want to ask Marie the question, why do you care so much? Like, if Tambra is a liar, okay. I do like the fact that Ikea, even though, she ain't seeing it for Tambra, she did still defend Tambra and her hair by saying that she knows, from what she knew, the relationship with those two are real. I'm like, thank you. So next up, we see Letitia and Latrice. They met up with each other. Letitia, this wig. I'm so glad, because I tweeted this last night, that, Lord, I hate this wig. I hate Letitia's wig. And she said, child, she tweeted me and said, child, me too. Letitia, whoever did this wig, please give it back to them. The hair is fine. Where the issue lies is the fact that this part, right? It's the part. Give it back to him. So Latrice said that, Latrice is talking about the fact that she reached out to So Gucci, right? And they showed the messages to So Gucci, and she says that So Gucci took a screenshot of the message and she sent it back to Latrice. And basically what that was is she was trying to send it to somebody and say, look, see, she's trying to reach out to me. She's not, and Latrice said she didn't apologize. And you shouldn't apologize, Latrice, because you have absolutely nothing to apologize to her for, because you didn't do anything to her. You didn't tell Selena to jump on that woman, right? And like I said earlier, I just don't like the fact that I feel like we're going to sit here and continuously try to blame Latrice for this situation when it had absolutely nothing to do with Latrice. She felt like these two women could be, if you were cordial at a baby shower, why can't you be cordial at my business event? Like, come on, let's think about that, right? So Letitia wants her to come to the peace treaty, and she agreed, right? So we get to the peace treaty. Now, Letitia, when you called Selena an intruder and she attacked y'all's sister, I don't necessarily know if we can call her an intruder because she was an invited guest. So yeah. So each lady who had an issue with each other, they were going to sit and talk to each other. So Ikea and Letitia were going to talk to each other. Marie and Tambra and her hair were going to talk to each other. And So Gucci and Latrice are going to talk to each other, right? I am Team Tambra and her hair because I didn't have a problem with Tambra and her hair having an issue with Marie, because, girl, you are bringing up us. Now, she said she got, she took him to court and all that kind of stuff, and he can't be around her family. I don't know what to believe with that, and I honestly don't care. But the issue that I just have is that it's like Marie is like a dog with a bone. Like, what is your issue really with Tambra and her hair? Because this is giving, I'm just grasping for straws and I need a storyline. I hate when people say, you just use me for a storyline, but that's literally what this is. Like, let's be for real. You are using her for a storyline, because this makes no sense. If this man didn't want to be on the show season 1, why is he reaching out now season 3? Like, let's be for real. But that's what I got, you guys. Let me know what you guys thought about this episode down in the comment section below. Subscribe to the channel, turn your post notifications on, and share the video, you guys. And until the next time, stay safe, you guys. Take care of yourselves. Wash your hands. Be blessed, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye, guys.